The Krell Empire classified worlds on a simple scale. Class 1 meant paradise, hospitable, resource-rich, ready for colonization. Class 12 meant hellscape, a planet so hostile that even the hardiest species wouldn't survive. Earth received a Class 12 rating when the Krell scouts first arrived. Extreme weather, tectonic instability, unpredictable oceans, and worst of all, an apex predator species that seemed to thrive on chaos itself, the humans. The Krell decided to conquer Earth anyway, not to colonize, but to study the creatures that could survive in such conditions. General Vexthor led the invasion force with absolute confidence. His armada of 10,000 warships descended upon the planet, weapons blazing. What happened next shocked the entire Krell hierarchy. Within the first hour of landing, the humans didn't run. They didn't surrender. They didn't even attempt conventional warfare. Instead, they did something the Krell had never encountered. They adapted. Instantly. A group of military engineers in Nevada immediately began repurposing Krell weapon technology to create improvised defenses. A teenager in Lagos hacked into a Krell communications satellite using a repurposed smartphone. In Tokyo, scientists began studying the composition of Krell armor to find weaknesses. Everywhere across Earth, humans were analyzing, learning, and evolving their tactics in real time. General Vexthor watched in growing horror as his technological advantage evaporated. The humans took damaged Krell drones and weaponized them. They studied Krell physiology from captured soldiers and deduced their weaknesses. Within 72 hours, a 12-year-old in Mumbai had figured out the mathematical flaw in the Krell's targeting systems. The Krell had assumed Earth's Class 12 designation meant humans were merely survivors. They hadn't realized that living on a Deathworld didn't just create survivors, it created innovators. Creatures who didn't follow predetermined strategies because their entire existence had always been about improvisation. Humans had spent millennia fighting earthquakes, hurricanes, diseases, and each other. Fighting an alien empire? It was just another problem to solve. When General Vexthor lost his first orbital station, he sent a distress signal to the Krell homeworld. The response he received was catastrophic, not in firepower but in bureaucratic indifference. The High Council had classified Earth as a Class 12 death world. By Krell law, any general who lost to inhabitants of a Class 12 world was considered incompetent. He would be stripped of rank, executed, and his bloodline erased from record. Desperate, Vexthor made a critical error. He demanded Earth's unconditional surrender within 24 hours, threatening to deploy a planetary extinction weapon. He expected capitulation. Instead, humanity responded with something the Krell couldn't compute: sacrifice. Humans volunteered in numbers that shattered Krell prediction models. They created human shields around power plants, water facilities, and hospitals. They didn't do this because they could win. They did it because giving up meant extinction anyway. They chose to fight on their own terms, in their own way, with the understanding that some of them wouldn't survive. This changed everything. The Krell soldiers, advanced, powerful, but psychologically rigid, began experiencing something their training never prepared them for: cognitive breakdown. How do you fight an enemy that's willing to die? How do you conquer a species that doesn't fear death because they've lived with it every single day? Desertion rates in the Krell forces skyrocketed. Soldiers began refusing orders. Officers questioned the mission. Within 2 weeks, General Vexthor's armada had fractured into competing factions, some demanding continuation, others calling for withdrawal. The final blow came when humans achieved something unprecedented. They hacked the Krell's central AI and reclassified Earth themselves. But instead of Class 1, they designated it Class Species with Infinite Adaptive Potential. Recommend permanent non-intervention. The Krell hierarchy received this classification and made an immediate decision. General Vexthor's fleet was recalled in disgrace. Earth was declared a forbidden zone. No Krell vessel would approach within 100 light-years. In the aftermath, a Krell scholar would write, "We classified them as inhabitants of a death world. We should have understood, species that survive death worlds don't just endure. They transcend. They become something greater. We came to conquer Earth and learned why death worlds create the most formidable warriors in the galaxy." Earth's Class 12 rating remained, but now it meant something entirely different. It meant danger to invaders. It meant humans live here. and that was the most terrifying designation the Krell could imagine.
Kindly like and subscribe channel. Thank you.